Today I'm going to show you guys how to meal prep these cilantro-lime jalapeno chicken and rice bowls. I've been on a Mexican food kick lately and these bowls definitely hit the spot. They're super tasty and can be done in under an hour, so let's jump into how to make them. The first thing we'll make is our rice, so get yourself a medium-sized saucepan, add a little bit of oil to it, then toss in 275 grams of white long grain rice. Now we'll go ahead and cover this with about 500 grams of water, and then we'll simply let simmer until the rice is cooked through. Pretty standard procedure here. And once it's there, we can go ahead and fluff it up a little bit, but we're not quite done just yet. We're going to add in about half a teaspoon of salt, roughly 3 tablespoons of chopped cilantro or so, and then the squeeze of half a lime. And adjust as you see fit. It's very important that we get the salt levels right here. So if you need or want more salt, for instance, or lime, then be sure to add it. But once our seasonings are where we like it, we'll go ahead and mix this together and then just set it off to the side. Alright, now let's marinate some chicken. In a bowl here, I have 1,000 grams of chicken breast that I've just flattened out, to which I'm going to add half a cup of chopped cilantro, 90 grams of non-fat Greek yogurt, about 2 tablespoons of chopped pickled jalapenos, 2 garlic cloves that I'm just going to grate in like so, the juice of 2 whole limes, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of black pepper, and finally 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. Now we'll give this a good old mix with our hands and then we'll let marinate for however long we have. When we're ready to cook though, we're going to use the grill then bake technique. So to a ripping hot cast iron, we'll hit this with some oil, then we'll toss in our chicken to get some color on both sides. Nothing more than that right now. Just keep flipping it back and forth until you get the color you want, and once there, go ahead and take your chicken out and place in the other breast so that they can get some color as well. And again, just to be clear, the breasts I took out earlier were still raw in the center, just like these in the pan are. But what we're going to do now that we've gotten color on the exterior of the chicken, we're going to nestle all the chicken back into the cast iron like so. Then we'll take some of this leftover marinade and spit it over the chicken breast. There's a lot of good flavor in there, so you don't want to leave that behind. And now we can put the cast iron in a 450 degree oven for something like 10 to 15 minutes or so. It just depends on how long you initially cooked your chicken, but we're just going to take it out once the chicken reaches 165 degrees internally. Then we can let it rest, and then after it rests, you can go ahead and slice it up for prepping later, which is what I'm just going to do on the side here. Alright, the final thing we need to make is the sauce, for which I couldn't help myself from going back to this crema that we've made for other videos. It's so dang good. To a bowl, we're going to add in 100 grams of light sour cream. Then we'll follow this up with 40 grams of tomatillo salsa or salsa verde, the squeeze of a lime wedge or half a lime if you prefer more lime in your sauce, and then a pinch of salt to round this out. Now we'll give this a good mix, make sure it's all well incorporated, and once it's there, we can go ahead and prep. I'm going to start off by placing a bed of rice down on the bottom of my containers. You could split it half and half if you wanted, but I wanted everything together, so this is how I'm doing it. Now that we have that there, I'm going to take my sliced chicken breast and place that over the top like so. And then we can add a few toppings to finish this off, including that delicious sauce that we made earlier, for which you probably won't end up using all of it, but use as much as you want because we calculated the full quantity in the macros. Then we'll hit this with some diced Roma tomato, for which I think I just used 1, and then about 20 grams of Cotjia cheese, which is optional, but I would highly recommend it. And finally, some chopped cilantro. And one thing I should have added at the end here is another squeeze of lime over the top. The fresh lime goes a long way, so I'd recommend adding that before you close the lids. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This recipe rocked, so we'll be back with more in the future.